So, didn't think I'd be making this one yet. Okay, so this is a video that I was hoping to make a little later into the channel's lifespan, but IRL is fickle and plans change, so here we go.
So you can get fishy shit, or an apple pie, or a drink.
I love how a large fishy shit costs the same as a small fishy shit. It was fucking close.
Now, for context, I'd been tentatively planning on launching a Patreon, maybe somewhere in between the 2nd to 3rd anniversary of the channel, anywhere from, say, June this year through to next January maybe. It felt like a nice point in time to aim for with the trajectory that things seem to be currently heading in, but for those of you that might have seen this post, you probably already have a pretty good idea of where this follow-up announcement is coming from. Without getting into too much detail, there's a fairly strong possibility that I may need to pick up a secondary job over the next 3 to 6 months to further establish my income. Yes, I do currently work a full-time position, but my outgoings have jumped up fairly heavily in the last few months, and I've come to realise that, well, I need to face a decision. Take on another source of income, or jump the gun a little and launch the Patreon super early. And to be 100% honest, I really don't want to stop myself from working on the channel by increasing my day job hours unless I absolutely have to. Reality will always be the dominating factor here, but ultimately I want to see the channel continue to grow and thrive over the course of 2022. I realise that it may sometimes not look like it when the schedule appears to be a little bit sparse, but I mean it when I say that when the day job ends, work on the channel almost immediately begins, with around 90% of my spare time being spent on it. At the end of the day, I'm an extremely self-critical person at the best of times, so getting things to a level where I'm actually happy enough to put them out there takes time. The Silent Hill 2 video, for example, was the result of 4 straight months' work, slowly piecing it together. And yeah, that kind of approach does slow me down a little, but it's just how I'm wired. And if I take on a second position, I'm cutting my already limited pool of time down even further, something that, if possible, I want to avoid.
What the fuck?
So, here it is. The channel now officially has a Patreon, with the sole intention being to maintain that one precious factor: time. However, let me also be clear that regardless of where this goes, or where this year goes, even if it means that I have to slow down, I'm not stopping this. I like doing this. I love seeing your responses to the things I make. It's been a bizarre, surreal realization, but it's slowly becoming more and more evident that this tiny space of the internet that I inhabit is slowly garnering something of an audience. And for that, I'm extremely grateful. Your support keeps me going, no matter what form of support it takes. So if you don't want to, or can't support the Patreon, don't worry about it. Just continue to enjoy the videos in whatever capacity you already do. Nothing's going behind a paywall, nothing's being restricted. I'm not going to stop making these things. But for those of you that can or would like to support the channel through financial means, thank you in advance if you do. I sincerely appreciate it. Now, to touch on the Patreon itself, I'm a huge believer in every little helps. And if I'm truthful to you, I don't currently plan on branching out into Patreon exclusive content or anything yet. I want to keep things simple for now and maximize my time by continuing to work on what I already have been. So to keep things simple, the Patreon will be capped at 3 tiers: £2, £5 and £10. We've all heard the classic, if 100 people gave $1, $100 is there to give, or something similar to that. And I believe in that philosophy. In terms of where the Patreon may go in the future, there are further updates I do have in mind, such as a future Discord with Patreon rewards and so forth, but that's all in the pipeline for a later date. I need to get things stable before I start to build on this even more. So again, to round this off, if you enjoy the channel and would like to support my work through a financial means, thank you so much. I'm incredibly humbled if you do. And to all of you that have jumped on the ride so far by subscribing, thank you to each and every one of you too. I love you all, you beautiful bunch of Caspers. I'll see you on the next review. And in case you are curious, we're going to Middle Earth next.